I used to think I knew how to make pretty good pizza at home. I was wrong. I've been doing a deep dive since attempting pizza on this wood fire oven into how to actually make pizza. And in my YouTube research, the absolute YouTube goat of making pizza at home is Vito Iacopelli. This gentleman is Italian through and through. I was doing basically everything wrong. I was treating the dough wrong, I was folding it wrong, I was doing it all wrong. That changes today. We are gonna follow one of Vito's recipes on how to make a true Neapolitan dough, and then we're gonna try and cook it in the Ninja Woodfire grill, something he has not used. So I'm excited to see how his stuff comes out in that oven. Let's get to it. To make a proper Neapolitan dough, you need to make something called a poulish. And it is a pre-fermented dough. It's like a starter, kind of like when you do sourdough. This one, as you can see, is nice and bubbly, and this is the way it should look, according to Vito. Now, this is my first time doing this, so let's hope it goes well. To make this poulish, you take 300 grams of water, 300 grams of 00 pizza flour, 5 grams of yeast, and 5 grams of honey, or honey, as we would say it here. And you mix that in a container. Make sure you get a container big enough to allow for the expansion. I originally tried to put them in wide mouth canning jars, ball canning jars, and it overflowed out of there. It was a mess. So find something big enough to hold this. You're gonna mix that up, and you're gonna set it out at room temperature for an hour, and then you're gonna put it in the fridge for 24 to 48 hours. This has been about 30 something hours in the fridge. This is a multi-step process. To make really good pizza, it takes a little bit of time. In this bowl, I have 700 milliliters of water. Everything for this is very precise. I used a digital scale and I weighed everything out to the absolute milliliter. So this is 700 milliliters of water. And we are gonna take our poulish, we're gonna put it in here. I'm gonna link to Vito's video that I watched on how to do this. So in case I completely screwed up, you have another way to look at it. Okay, and then you just mix this poulish into the water, and this becomes our yeast for making our dough. And we just wanna mix this up. We've got it nice and mixed. It's very watery. Everything looks pretty well incorporated. I think that's gonna be good enough. To this bowl, we are gonna add 1,250 grams of 00 pizza flour. It's gonna make a lot of pizza dough, folks. We're gonna learn how to freeze it at the end of this video also. But we're only gonna add half in first, and I believe that is to make it a little easier to mix. He didn't mention why he did the half, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna help us make it a little easier to mix. Once the first half is in, we're gonna go in with the rest of our flour. And we're gonna just mix this until it forms a very sticky, shaggy dough. Sticky, shaggy dough. Now, we also need 40 grams of salt. I should have added this first. I've already messed up. But I think we'll be okay, because we're gonna mix this really well. Now, you take this and you dump it on your counter. I have properly cleaned this counter. Make sure you have a good spatula. I just broke mine. The silicone just snapped. Not strong enough. Take a little bit of olive oil on our hands. Not too much, just enough to coat them. And then we're gonna just work this dough together. You can see I'm like folding it and pressing it. Folding it and pressing it. Fold and press. We'll do this for a few minutes until it gets all nice and well incorporated. Trying to make sure and see that I don't have any pockets of flour in my dough, which I still see some right here. Take some sort of dough scraper. Now you can see this is very sticky dough. He says not to worry about that. I trust him. It looks very trustworthy. Quick hand wash and a little bit more olive oil on your hands. Now, we're just gonna tap this dough, get it coated in a little bit of olive oil on the top. Then we're gonna cover it, and and we're gonna let it sit here for about 15 minutes. It has been 15 minutes, and now this is the most important step, according to Vito. Apparently the goal is to keep this part on top and create a balloon. This is what's going to give your pizza that airy taste. A little bit of oil on my spatula. We're supposed to pick up and create a balloon. My balloon did not balloon that well, but see what I'm doing here? I'm picking it up and kind of letting it. Okay, this is kind of doing what Vito said. We're trying to kind of stretch this. That looks pretty good. And now, like magic, according to Vito, you're gonna see that the dough has started to become nice and smooth. And honestly, he's right. Okay, now this is the closing part. So just so like that, we are gonna close. He's like doing this rolling thing, gently. And just like that, you got pizza dough. Oh, I'm proud, man. Now we're gonna take our bowl, a little bit of olive oil. This is the same bowl we made the dough in. Then we're just gonna pick it up and get it in there. Now we're gonna cover this, let it sit for 30 minutes at room temp. While I go do that, let me leave you with this. Why did the mushroom always get invited to pizza parties? Because he's a fun guy.
You enjoying this video? Well, there's a few simple things you can do to help me out. 1, you could subscribe if you're not already. 2, you could give the video a like and hit that bell. All right?
It's been 30 minutes. It's time to check our dough and make the dough balls. So our dough has expanded. Olive oil on your hands. Now it's important to make sure that the top stays the top. He mentions that quite a few times. Now we're gonna cut this into thirds. All right, then he does some kind of like fancy, just folding over to make this its own ball. Boom. And now we'll try to do it the way he did it. With one hand you measure, and the other hand you cut. And then boom, dough ball. We'll just keep doing that until we end up with some dough balls. That one's a little bigger, that's a little smaller. I'm not that good at that part yet. This is honestly the best dough I've ever made to work with. It feels pretty nice. He did one where he said the easy way is to just kind of fold upside down, make a little package, flip it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 11. He said it makes 10. Now, my pizza oven's a little smaller than his, so maybe this will be okay. Final step. We're gonna add a little semolina to here. Now, this is semolina flour, the stuff you make pasta with. This is the flour you're supposed to use to keep the dough from sticking, not the other flour that you had and made the pizza with. And he says you want them about 2 fingers apart. Okay, for my baking sheet, I'm gonna do, we'll get 6 on there. And you want a little bit of olive oil on the tops. This is gonna stop the plastic wrap from sticking to the doughs. And then we're gonna cover this bad boy, ready to go. We're gonna set these out at room temperature for 2 hours. See you in 2 hours. Actually, I'll see you in a few minutes. We gotta make the extra stuff. We are keeping this super simple. We are just using fresh mozzarella and a fresh pizza sauce. Got 2 different kinds. One of my initial problems I had making pizza in here was the cheese just absolutely burned. I was using the wrong cheese. I was using pre-shredded, low moisture mozzarella. These high temperatures, you can't get away with that. You need fresh mozzarella. And it can't be cut too thin. Otherwise, it will burn. That was a tip from Vito's video. So we're gonna cut these. These are already pre-sliced. We're gonna cut them again into about 1/4 inch chunks, like that. and then 1 1/2. So we've got these nice, thick, chunky pieces of wet cheese. Bunch of cheese. For Vito sauce, you want to get yourself some good Italian tomatoes. San Marzanos if you can. They were completely out of San Marzano at my market, so I got these. These are not DOP certified, but they are Italian, so hopefully they'll be good. And then you want to take them and kind of pulse them up a little bit with a stick blender. We'll pull a little bit out because it's going to get messy. We're not trying to make them completely smooth, just broken up a little bit, a little chunky. A little bit of olive oil, about a teaspoon of salt, and then some fresh basil. This is from my garden, and all he did was rip it up a little bit. And then we're just gonna give this a stir. Try to use a container that's big enough to hold your sauce, and so it doesn't go all around like I did. But that's it, sauce is ready. Now we just wait for our 2 hours to be up, and 1 hour before our 2 hours is up, we're gonna preheat our pizza oven so we can heat soak that stone. All we're gonna do is set it to 700 degrees, let it run for an hour. You don't need any wood chips, you don't need anything like that. And that's gonna get the pizza stone nice and ready to give us a nice crispy crust, as Vito would say. It has been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. It's time to load some pellets into the wood fire because we want to do a little bit of smokiness with our pizza. Give it that real wood-fired oven taste. I threw some all-purpose pellets in there, nothing special. I just want a little bit of wood flavor. I can't do the dad shake because it's already hot. I don't know if that's gonna hurt me. So we are gonna go ahead and turn this off. We're gonna turn it back on to pizza, Neapolitan. We're gonna hit that wood fire, and we're gonna hit start. That should ignite our pellets, get it a little smoky in there. Our dough is done. As you can see, they're kind of touching. They've expanded. A little bit of olive oil on our hands. And then into some semolina flour. And then we're gonna flip it over like that. Just a little bit. We'll throw a little bit of semolina on our board. And there we go. We're gonna place it here upside down so the top stays the top. And then we're gonna start just pressing it. And building our crust. And then we're gonna flip it over one more time. Press, press, press. Say if it's sticky, you can add a little flour. Press, press, press. And then now we're gonna do a press and pull. And then a press and a pull. Press and a pull. Press and a pull. Press and a pull. Flip it back. Take off all the flour from your work surface. And then we should be able to press our crust like so. Now he made his bigger by doing some flopping and stretching. I think for my size pizza oven, this is the size we need. So I'm not gonna go any further. At this point, we should be able to get it on our pizza peel. Slides really nicely, no problems. Now in Vito's video, he pre-cooks his pizza once because his is cooking at a lower temperature. I don't think we are going to have to do that. So we're just gonna put our pizza sauce on here. Just enough, not too saucy. That should be good. Some mozzarella. Now we're gonna take a little bit of olive oil on our hand, and we're just gonna kind of dab some olive oil on the crust area. A little bit of olive oil on the pizza. Maybe a little more cheese. Maybe a little sprinkle of pecorino romano on there, and we should be good to go into the good old Ninja. All right, we have a little smoky. Start. For this Ninja Woodfire, it says 3 minutes for a Neapolitan pizza. I've never been able to do it with it completely closed like this and not have a problem. I'm gonna find out how it goes. I got 10 things of pizza to try, so I'm okay if it gets messed up a little. I really wanna check it, but I don't wanna, I wanna give it its full chance at the correct 3 minutes, door closed. I have no clue what's going on in there and it's killing me. I gotta peek. Okay. It's okay. It is not dying. Probably shouldn't have peeked. I should have let it go. I feel bad. I smell burning. Oh my God, that looks awesome. That is the most authentic looking pizza I have made in this oven. Put a little bit of extra this pecorino romano. I want to check the undercarriage. Oh my God, Vito! Vito! Look at that! Drop just a little oil on there, like that. I gotta get some scissors to cut this, and I gotta get a special taste tester. This looks great, and here is the official pizza taste tester. This is the one who knows everything there is to know about pizza and if it's good. Oh, you can hear the crunchiness of the crust. Okay, I'm gonna try it first because it's super hot, okay? That is really good pizza. Okay, it's hot though, okay? You ready?
That is really good.
Here.
I want crust.
Try some of the crust. Put a little cheese on it.
That is so good. I want more.
More chewy, but crispy on the outside with the dough. That is pizza. Well, Vito, your tips and tricks are perfect for the Ninja Woodfire Grill and make an amazing pizza. Okay, rate of all the pizzas I've ever made. How does this one rate?
Probably like a 9.5.
But is it the best pizza that I've ever made? Really? To me it is.
I like your other pizzas way better.
As far as the quality of the pizza, not the
quality.
flavoring of the
Quality
pizza,
of the
the
pizza,
quality,
the best.
how good the dough is, and how well the cheese is melted.
Oh yeah, that's the best
not
pizza.
flavor.
That's the best pizza.
We followed Vito's, the Italian guy, Vito, his recipe.
Follow Vito.
His recipe, the boss. I'm gonna go take a slice to the wife, see how she likes it, and I'll be back to do the wrap up. Okay, you can see there's pockets of air inside that crust. Oh my gosh. I think the kiddo wanted bacon. She likes bacon on her pizza. That's why she's like, that's not your best pizza ever. There's no bacon. Now that I have the perfect pizza dough, I'm gonna do a bunch of different pizza recipes. We're gonna do bacon pizza. We're gonna do all kinds of fun recipes. But oh my gosh, look at the undercarriage. Look how perfect and browned it is on there. Oh my gosh. All right, look at that. Look at the pockets in there. And look at that. Now this is one of those times where you realize you are not good at something, but you can get better if you watch YouTube. And I did. Unfortunately, I burned a Hawaiian pizza the other day. I should have cooked it on aloha temperature. I'm gonna throw Vito's link down in the description. Go give him a follow if you wanna learn everything about pizza. He is the man. If you wanna learn about pizza on the Ninja Woodfire specifically, I'm not a bad place to go now that I got my dough down and I know how to use this sucker. Please do all the likey, subscribe stuff, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. That stuff really helps the channel. And I am proud to announce that as of this video, there are now memberships available on the Dad Got This channel. There are a bunch of different levels you can do. You get all kinds of benefits from producer credits to shout outs, or you can even get on my Christmas card list. So if that's something you'd be interested in doing and supporting this channel, I'll also throw that information down below. Dad may now be able to make an authentic Neapolitan pizza, but he still tells bad dad jokes and never does an outro. So that's it. Bye. Now I have a bunch of dough left over. What do I do with it? I'm gonna freeze it, and there's a specific way you should freeze these. If you wanna know, go check out my channel. There'll be a YouTube short on it.